Hello and welcome to Real Easy English. In this podcast, we have real conversations in easy English to help you learn. I'm Beth.
And I'm Neil. And you can find a video version of this podcast on our website, bbclearningenglish.com, where you can also find a free worksheet.
How was your weekend, Neil?
My weekend was very good. I did lots of fun things.
Oh, good.
What about you?
Yeah, I went to a museum that was not that interesting. And I did some other interesting things too.
Well, today, Beth, we are talking about days out and places that are good to visit for a day trip.
Very nice. Let's get started then.
So tell us about your boring day by the sound of it.
So it was a prison museum about like medieval England. So I feel like it could have been a bit more exciting. But instead I was reading a lot about religion and kings and stuff.
Okay, so you spent your weekend learning about prisoners from the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it too much, but museums can be a good
Yeah.
thing. What about a day trip that you've enjoyed?
I used to go on lots of day trips with my kids.
Yeah.
So fun things to do. We go to the seaside in the summer. But they don't really want to hang around with me anymore. So
You're not cool.
I'm on my own. So I like watching sport. So I might meet friends and go and watch sport. On Friday, I spent most of the day watching a cricket match.
Oh, nice. That sounds like a good day out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I did go to a museum, but I also went to the theatre this weekend, and that was a really enjoyable day trip.
Did you do any sightseeing?
Well, yeah, we walked past quite a lot of famous sites. So we went past Big Ben, we walked past the London Eye, Trafalgar Square. Yeah, we did a lot of walking. I'm quite tired, actually.
And are you a thrill seeker? So do you like really adventurous day trips? Like, do you like parachuting or bungee jumping or any of those things? Or roller coasters, theme parks?
I would say no, not really. I think if I'm on holiday, I'm a bit more adventurous. So I've done things like, been in speedboats and that kind of stuff, which I find quite enjoyable. If I'm abroad, tends to be, but I don't really like roller coasters and that sort of thing because they scare me and make me feel a bit sick.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go to a theme park for a day out. What about you? Are you a thrill seeker?
Not anymore. I used to like theme parks when I was younger, but I don't really like them anymore. Okay, Beth, so is there anywhere that you have always wanted to visit for a day trip, but you haven't?
There is actually. So, Brighton. I went to Brighton when I was a child, but I can't remember it at all, to be honest. So I'd really like to go there on a day trip because it's not too far and I like the beach and I want to have an ice cream, maybe some fish and chips.
I used to live in Brighton.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can take me on a day trip and show me around.
Definitely think you should visit.
How about you, Neil? Is there anywhere that you've always wanted to go on a day trip?
Yeah. I really like train travel. And London is actually really close to the rest of Europe. But we have the sea in the way, but we have the tunnel. So we can go to Paris just for the day. And it seems like maybe like it's not long enough to go somewhere like Paris for a day, but you can do it. And I kind of like that idea of just going from London to Paris for the day and back on the train.
Sounds a bit crazy. You'd need a really early train.
Really early train, really late train back, and lots of energy.
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't need to pay for your accommodation.
Exactly.
Go up the Eiffel Tower, come back down, go home.
Perfect.
Let's recap the vocabulary we heard during the conversation. We had day trip, which means visiting a place for just the day.
We heard thrill seeker, which describes someone who takes part in risky and exciting activities.
Adventurous means unusual and exciting. A person can be adventurous, or an experience or a day trip can be adventurous, like Neil's trip to Paris.
We use the word sightseeing, which describes the activity where you walk around looking at famous buildings and monuments.
And that's it for this episode of Real Easy English. You can test what you've learnt with the worksheet on our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
And we'll be back with more easy conversations soon. And we want to hear from you to tell us what you want to hear us talking about. Send an email to learningenglish@bbc.co.uk. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for joining us and see you soon.
Goodbye.